Ants don't invade homes. They receive permission. A signal tells them where to walk, where to eat, where to return. Today, you erase that signal with one kitchen spice. No chemicals, no poison, instant silence. Most people fight ants the wrong way. They spray, they stomp, they panic, and the ants keep coming back. Because ants don't respond to violence. They respond to instructions. Remove the instruction, and the army collapses on its own. Step 1. Why ants never stop coming. An ant never acts alone. It is never a single soldier. It is never a lone intruder. It never thinks independently. It never makes decisions on its own. It never chooses a path randomly. It never explores without purpose. Every movement is intentional. Every step is part of a plan. When an ant finds food, it doesn't celebrate. It doesn't pause to enjoy the victory. It doesn't take a moment to feel proud. It doesn't hesitate. It doesn't second-guess itself. It doesn't doubt the direction. It releases a pheromone trail, a chemical signal that marks the path, a message that cannot be ignored. That trail is not a suggestion. It is not a polite hint. It is not a gentle nudge. It is not a warning. It is not a plea. It is not an opinion. It is a command, a strict order that must be followed, a message written into the air, a chemical instruction written on the surface of your home, invisible to you, but clear to them. Follow this path. Walk exactly here. Do not deviate. Do not stray. Do not choose another route. Bring reinforcements. Bring the entire colony. Bring the army. 1 ant becomes 10. 10 become hundreds. Hundreds become thousands. Kill the ant. The command remains. The trail still exists. The instruction still stands. Wipe the floor. The command remains. The message is still there, hidden beneath the clean surface. You remove bodies, but you leave the message intact. You remove the soldiers, but not the orders. And as long as the message exists, ants will obey it. They will return. They will rebuild the path. They will restore the invasion. Until the trail is completely destroyed. Until the signal is erased at its source. Ants will return endlessly. Again, and again, and again. Step 2. The kitchen spice that breaks the system. Go to your kitchen, not the cupboard with chemicals, not the shelf with sprays, not the cleaning drawer. Your kitchen, the place where food is made, the place where life is sustained. Cinnamon, a spice you already own, a simple powder, a common ingredient, but a weapon against the ant invasion. Not because ants dislike the scent, not because it offends their senses, not because it irritates them, not because it burns their antennae, but because it destroys their communication at the source. It destroys the very language they use to coordinate. It interrupts their instructions. It breaks the system that keeps them organized. Cinnamon doesn't chase ants away. It doesn't scare them. It doesn't push them out of your home. It doesn't force them to leave. It doesn't warn them. It doesn't threaten them. It doesn't intimidate them. It disrupts them. It confuses them. It breaks their connection. It erases their map. To ants, cinnamon is interference. It is a disruption in the signal, a break in the chain, a crack in the system. The chemical trail dissolves. The path becomes unclear. The message fades away. The signal fractures. The instruction breaks into pieces. The command becomes meaningless. The instructions vanish. The orders disappear. The plan collapses. The trail disappears. The map collapses. The mission fails. Silently, instantly, completely. Step 3. How to use it correctly. Do not mix it with water. Water weakens the effect. Water dilutes the power. Water turns the spice into something ordinary. It loses its strength. It loses its purpose. Water spreads nothing. It spreads only a thin, useless layer. It becomes a weak mist. A fog with no direction. A trail that cannot hold. Do not spray it. Sprays drift. Sprays spread unevenly. Sprays miss the target. They float away into the air. They land where they are not needed. Do not dilute it. Dilution turns power into noise. The spice becomes a whisper, a sound that cannot be heard, a message that cannot be understood. Use dry cinnamon powder, pure, undisturbed, untouched, strong and focused. Draw a thin, deliberate line, exactly where ants enter your home. A line that stops them, a line that interrupts the command. Not randomly, not everywhere, not all over the floor, not scattered like dust. Door frames, window edges, cracks in the wall, baseboards along the floor. Any place where the ants cross into your space. You are not attacking ants. You are not chasing bodies. You are not winning a battle. You are ending the war. You are cutting the signal, breaking the connection, erasing the trail. And without the signal, there is nothing left to follow. No path, no order, no purpose, no invasion. Step 4. What happens next? Ants approach the line. They come close, inch by inch. Not rushing, not panicking, not afraid. They move with caution, but still with purpose. They slow down. The speed fades. The urgency disappears. The confidence that once pushed them forward begins to fade. The certainty fades. The command is no longer clear. The path is no longer visible. Their instinct becomes uncertain. They stop. They hesitate. They pause in silence. Confused. Uncertain. They turn back. They retreat the same way they came. Not because they choose to, but because they have no instruction left to follow. No command. No order. No trail to guide them. No trail. No leader. No confidence. The system breaks quietly. Not with a crash. Not with a struggle. But with a silence that eats the invasion from within. The movement collapses. The flow stops. The march ends. The invasion ends. Without noise. Without chemicals. Without a single fight. Step 5. Why this beats chemicals. Chemicals kill bodies. One ant at a time. They remove the soldiers. They cut down the visible threat. But the war continues. Slow. Temporary. The effects fade. The ants return. The colony rebuilds. Cinnamon kills systems. Not a single ant. Not a few. The entire structure. The network. The order that holds the invasion together. Chemicals leave toxins in the air. They float and linger. They contaminate the space. They create danger where there should be safety. They settle on surfaces. They stick to countertops. They cling to floors. They remain on walls. They linger where food is prepared. Where you cook. Where you eat. Where your family lives. Cinnamon leaves nothing behind. No residue. No poison. No dangerous traces. No toxins in the air. No residue on food surfaces. No danger to pets or children. No hidden risks in the home. And ants can evolve against poison. They can develop resistance. They can adapt. They can survive chemical attacks. But ants cannot adapt to confusion. They cannot evolve against chaos. They cannot learn to follow a trail that no longer exists. They cannot fight a system that has already collapsed. Step 6. The mistake that makes ants return. Most people stop too early. They think the battle is won after the first victory. They think one day is enough. They think one clean surface means the war is over. They see a few ants disappear, and they assume the war is over. They believe the invasion has ended. They believe the problem is solved. They stop after one day. They stop after one cleaning. They stop because they want peace now. They stop because they are tired. They stop because they want instant results. But the ants are patient. They don't rush. They don't panic. They wait. They observe. They return when the path is restored. And the trails are stubborn. They do not vanish quickly. They remain hidden. They remain active. They remain alive. Old trails linger. Invisible. Unseen. Waiting. Like a silent message etched into the floor. Even after you wipe the floor, the message still exists. The command remains. The instruction is still there. The path is still readable to them. That's why the ants return. Not because they are strong, but because the command remains. Because the trail still guides them. Because the system is still intact. Reapply cinnamon. For 3 consecutive days. Not once. Not twice. 3 times. Not because you are uncertain, but because the old signal needs complete erasure. Erase the past completely. Erase every trace of the old trail. Erase the message. Erase the command. Erase the map. And when the signal is gone, the ants forget your home ever existed. They lose the memory. They lose the path. They lose the reason to return. You didn't chase ants. You outsmarted them. One spice. One boundary. Total control. If this saved you time, money, or peace of mind, subscribe. Because the cleanest homes aren't cleaned harder. They're cleaned smarter.